Savage Nation, this hour is not going to be very easy for you because just released to the media are the ramblings of Cho the mass murderer. This filthy coward, this worm, who I wished in the first hour had been run over by a cement truck 2 days before this and squashed like a bug, where his protoplasm was smeared all over the street instead of the children who didn't deserve it. This bug, this filthy bum, sent videotapes and writings, rambling right to NBC in between the murders because he wanted attention. What I'm about to play for you on the Savage Nation has just been released. It's Cho the mass murderer. Listen carefully, it's chilling.
You got 100 billion chances and ways to have avoided today, but you decided to spill my blood. You forced me into a corner and gave me only one option. The decision was yours. Now you have blood on your hands that will never wash off.
You forced me to do it. You have blood on your hands. Now, you know the liberals are going to take his side. They're already doing it. The New York Times talked about isolation, about his loneliness, about his hints of anger, his feelings of humiliation. I guess they can go to the next step and say in a Christian society. Because in the tapes, which have not yet been released, but which I've gotten an advance notice of, he attacks Christianity as well. I'm telling you what's coming. And I'm telling you, they're going to let it out in drips and drabs. I'm telling you, I know what's coming here. I'm telling you, the Ismail axe on his arm, this rambling tape which attacks society, rich kids, debauchery, alcohol, and then attacks Christianity, it all starts to connect for me. And I don't need your permission to make the connections. Go to the bum with the megaphone if you don't like what I'm saying. Go to the street criminal, see if I give a damn. I know what this is all about, and I know where this is coming from, and I know this kid was brainwashed somewhere over there. I can guarantee it. There's much more to the story, but those empty suits over there will never let you know the connections. Never! Because if they ever did, you'd put 2 and 3 together and come up with 5. Instead, they want you to put balloons and teddy bears on the street and sit there and cry and sing a college cheer. A broken society, a broken mentally ill society. You want to hear more from this human vermin? This subhuman? Here, play more from the subhuman, Mr. Cho.
You loved crucifying me. You loved inducing cancer in my head, terrorizing my heart, and ripping my soul all this time.
Why don't you play it again? This is Mr. Cho, the favorite friends of liberal psychologists. Go ahead.
You just loved crucifying me. You loved inducing cancer in my head, terrorizing my heart.
Did he say, did I hear that correctly? I don't want to say it unless I play that beginning again.
You just loved crucifying me.
What did he say there? Hold it. Whoa, what was that word? What love crucified me? Beowulf, did you hear that? Your love or you love crucifying me? Play the whole piece again from the human offal, Mr. Cho.
You just loved crucifying me. You loved inducing cancer in my head, terrorizing my heart, and ripping my soul all this time.
Okay, play more from the mass murderer now.
I didn't have to do this. I could have left. I could have fled. But no, I will no longer run. It's not for me. For my children. For my brothers and sisters.
For my children? He has no children. Now, look, he was declared mentally ill by a court a year ago, and he was let go after psychologists said he was no danger to others. I am telling you that this should be a national outcry, not to ban guns, which is being called for by Michael Eisner and Jim Moron, Democrat from Virginia, who want to take away your right to defend yourself. No, there should be a call to rebuild and open up mental hospitals across the country. All we need to talk about now is the indiscriminate use of antidepressants, number 1, and reopening the mental hospitals, number 2, and there's going to be more of this, I can guarantee you. Chris, KDW, your opinion, please. What do you think of these eerie tapes?
Michael, I am sickened by this. I was on Facebook earlier today, and I typed in the killer's name, just for kicks and giggles, and the first few pages that came up were, forgive so-and-so, I'm not even going to try pronouncing his name. I was outraged. This guy just killed 32 innocents.
No, he shouldn't be forgiven. His name should go into the lexicon of American hate figures forever. He should be painted as the devil for the rest of history. I'm looking at the face of the devil when I see it. You want to see Satan in a human form? That's Satan in a human form in his body. Satan invaded his body, and I see Satan speaking.
Exactly. People tell me, oh, Chris, calm down. You need to forgive him. No, Jesus didn't tell me to forgive him. Jesus said forgive him.
No, don't forgive him. Are you crazy? Don't be rolled over by the liberal fools, the victims, the born victims. They're the next victims of another maniac. No, stand up to your own feelings.
He should not even be buried in these here United States for what he did to those people in Virginia. It should be.
That's a very interesting thought. The parents are nowhere to be seen. I don't blame them. They're hiding in shame. And I think that they should have a right to privacy, as I do any other parents of maniacs. But I can guarantee you, if the shooter had been white, blonde hair and blue-eyed, they'd be in his grandmother's nursing home bothering her for questions, peppering her in the bed if they could get away with it. What was he like as a boy? Did you have any indication of him doing this when he was in the 7th grade? They did that to every other mass murderer they can get their hands on, but I guess certain people to these kinds of rules of liberal reporting don't apply. Play another piece from this thing, this creature, this green slime.
I got 100 billion chances and ways to have avoided today, but you decided to spill my blood. You forced me into a corner and gave me only one option. The decision was yours. Now you have blood on your hands that will never wash off.
Now you have blood on your hands that will never wash off. You realize, of course, that the liberals agree with him. You know that the liberals are going to go on TV tonight and tomorrow and say, well, in a certain way, it is the system that allowed him to fall through the cracks. He was a young man in pain. He was crying out for help, and we failed him. We need more mental health outpatient clinics. You wait and see. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. Liberalism is a mental disorder. But one thing I can tell you is knee-jerk liberalism is easily predicted. The knee-jerk liberals already have the answers. We need more psychologists. We need more therapy and more therapists. No, dearie, we don't need more therapists. I'll tell you what we need. What we need is a dragnet of all the homeless in America to start with. Take them off the streets. Many of them are violent time bombs ticking, waiting to go off. That's number one. We need to spend a few $1 billion a year building mental hospitals across the country. No more money for Iraq. No more money for Iraq. It's a disaster. You want me to talk about Iraq? 178 people died today from truck bombs. Bush's surge has failed. It is over. It's DOA. And the reason it's failed is because it had the rules of engagement were the same. You want to talk about madness? I'll tell you what madness is. Madness is running a war wrongly for 4 years, coming up with a cockeyed plan that isn't going to work from the get-go, and seeing deaths increase and saying, give it a chance. Give my plan a chance. You want to hear what madness is? To me, that's a madman as well. I'm telling you like it is. It's totally crazy. It's like a madman on the wheels of a car that's gone off a cliff or about to go off a cliff and no one could stop him. You know what? It's over. If Bush is going to continue to constrain our boys and our men in Iraq, if he's going to continue to cripple them with rules of engagement that nobody can fight a war and win with, then this surge is not going to help. It's a failure. That's why these bombs are going off. You want to hear what madness is? Don't look any further than 1700 Pennsylvania Avenue. I'll be right back.
Your opinion counts at 910KNEW.com. Log on now and give us your thoughts. Take the Vizu.com poll of the day at 910KNEW.com.
When the time came, I did it. I had to. You forced me into a corner and gave me only one option. The decision was yours. Now you have blood on your hands that will never wash off. You just loved crucifying me. You loved inducing cancer in my head, terrorizing my heart, and wrecking my soul all this time. I didn't have to do this. I could have left. I could have fled. But no, I will no longer run. It's not for me. For my children. For my brothers and sisters. But you... I did it for them.
You're listening to the voice of Cho, the mass murderer. You're listening to a soulless ghoul who had a long history of creeping people out on the campus. One professor threw him out of class because he was taking pictures of girls' legs underneath the chairs with his cell phone. The girls wouldn't come to the class anymore. They knew he was a perverted, sick